The Books That Shaped Me is proudly sponsored by WinStar Insurance Group right out of Cedar Park, Texas. Owned and operated by Stephanie Dew, my dear friend. Early on in her career, she knew what it was like to feel undervalued. And she vowed that if she ever had an opportunity to be in leadership, she was going to do it different. And she does. She values each of her employees and her clients with the utmost integrity and respect and kindness that you'd ever imagine. So they've got a specialty in their business. They take care of first responders. They've got wineries, breweries, childcare facilities, and the employees themselves are so excited to be there. And they talk about how they haven't felt valued anywhere else like they do there. So it's hats off to Stephanie and WinStar Insurance Group because our values align with faith, trust, and authenticity. Thank you, Stephanie, from the bottom of my heart and those of us that hang out with the books that shaped me. Welcome back, everyone. It's Angie Smith with The Books That Shaped Me. This is episode 9. Thank you for joining us for another conversation. And today I have the distinct honor of chatting with Miss Veronica Seaver. Veronica is a woman doing some really cool things. You have continued from the time that I first learned about who you were. I was still living in Elgin, maybe, I don't even know, over 10 years ago. We're going to call it that. And you were already becoming a woman, empowering women. And I just had a couple of cool chat times to hang out with you, brainstorm with you, collaborate with you. And my life took me off to Austin. Life has continued to throw curveballs as it does. But since then, our paths have recrossed, and I've been able to see you speaking, leading women in various amazing ways. I'll give you a chance to tell that story. But here today, we are here to just hear about your journey, both passionately, personally, professionally, all the piece,
Yeah.
all of them. I want to hear your story. So with that, Veronica, thank you for this conversation today, and say hello.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I love what you're doing. I love the name of this. I literally have told so many people, like, the books that shape you. And like, do you know what my books are? Like, I'm so excited about it. But yeah, so I have, my life has also just kind of taken me on this weird path. And I remember at this point, it was probably close to 20 years ago. I remember telling my ex-husband, if I could do anything in the world, I would like to be a women's motivational speaker, and I would like to, just grow women.
Yeah.
And I remember him laughing at me,
Oh,
and not like not trying to be ugly, just
yeah.
like, what a
Like,
weird
what a
thing
stretch.
to yeah. And, it was really cool a few months ago when I was on the phone with him, and I was like, "Hey, do you remember that one time
Uh-huh.
that I said that?" And like, and look at what I'm doing now.
Look at me
And
now.
so, yeah, so yeah, I'm working with women is such a passion of mine. I do it in every way that I can. But I also really just love growing business owners and educating people, because I think that when you live in a small town, we kind of get this mentality of like, well, I don't have to have the same expectations because I'm in a small town.
Mhm.
And I try to teach people that just because we're small town doesn't mean we can't be big business.
There we
And
go.
so, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I love
loving it.
that. So you have had a very interesting career journey. You have invested your time and your energy. I feel like the stories that I've been hearing lately are more when you were stood up into leadership with the chamber. So that's kind of freshest on my mind. But I do want to give you a chance to tell the story how you want. But just amazing work that you've been able to do to bring. I know that your primary women, of course, but community, people,
Yes.
and being that bridge and creating the space for us to come together, commune, grow, collaborate. It's what it's all about. And I just say hats off to you, Miss Seaver.
Thank you. Thank you. So my career kind of started with the Hyatt.
Okay.
And I was in the restaurant. That's what I knew was restaurants, right? And I was in the restaurant, and my general manager, there was 800 employees, and my general manager was like, "You should be doing something more." And so he brought me into human resources, and then I became a training manager. And at that time, there was only 4 of us in the United States. And I went and did all this training in Chicago and different places, and worked with corporate. And that's where I learned, like, one, that I had a passion in teaching adults,
Mhm.
right? But what I really learned at that time was, I have the ability to create buy-in, and
Mm.
that is something that, I suck at a lot of things. There's plenty I'm not good at, but I am so good at that, and I think that that's why I've been successful with community as a whole, whether it's Elgin, whether it's women, whether it's whatever type of community you wanna look at. It's creating that buy-in, but I would have never known that had Steve Dwyer not said, "Nope, you need to leave the restaurant and you
Wow.
need to do something bigger." Yeah.
I just wanna take a pause.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Steve Dwyer.
Yeah.
Like, I can think back to my life in high school when somebody said, "You know what? Let's put you in that honors class," and I just remember thinking, "Wait, I'm smart? Like, I'm living my life, I'm doing," but we kinda need somebody, and that's why they say it takes a village. We need people in all walks of our life to kinda have an impression, give a direction, speak into us, and call us up and call us forth.
Absolutely. I've always said that I feel like my life has happened because of a series of people who saw something in me that
Mhm.
I didn't know was there,
Mm.
and they brought it out of me, and then I just like, "Oh, wow, okay, yeah, I can do this," or "I love this," or whatever, right? And so, but yeah, it has been a series of people
Yeah,
that saw it in me before I did.
that's so
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
I mean, and then it reminds me of like Spider-Man, right? He learns, he's got some little spiders, things, webs, and it takes him some time to figure out how to work that skill set that
yep,
he has. So once you figure out you've got this talent, then you started honing it in,
yeah.
practicing it, cultivating it.
Yeah,
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 ma'am.
it's been so after Hyatt, I had, my ex-husband and I owned a couple of wholesale nurseries, and I focused on the, HR and finances, and it was so boring to me, right? Like, it had to happen, it was so important, big, big part of why we were successful, but, I was really bored with it, so I took on the president of the Texas Nursery and Landscape Association, and that was where I got to, like, do this other side of things and have the meetings and teach the adults and help the things that I was passionate about, and so it balanced that time of my life, and then so going from training manager to owning my business to Texas Nursery and Landscape Association to Elgin Chamber president. It was
Mm,
like this perfect, um, background that I've had that, like, my career just set me up so well
wow.
to step into that role
Mhm.
with no kind of experience. I didn't even know what a chamber was. And so, I loved it. I am so grateful for that position, but I also knew that it wasn't a forever for me.
Yes.
That never had when they hired me, I said, "I'll give you 2." It ended up being 4,
Mhm.
4 years, but I knew it wasn't forever. I knew I wanted to build something for myself. But man, that was just the the doors it opened was incredible, but you have to still go open them, like,
You have to
it
walk
didn't
through
just
them.
come to me.
Right.
I had to get myself out of 78621
Mhm.
and go meet new people and go do things that scared me and push myself in ways, but yeah, so it's just everything has just led to this really cool life that I live now, just
I love it.
helping other people. It's awesome.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. You're flowing in your gift. I'm reminded of like the back of one of those like quilts where maybe the front has this beautiful picture, but on the back it's kind of all scratchety and the back screen, that's sometimes what our life is like. It's a myriad of adventures, opportunities, challenges, and then lo and behold, it has prepared me for such a time as this.
Yeah.
And you are equipped, you got the experience, you've got the ability to communicate and get the buy-in, and it's opening that next chapter for you. How
Yeah.
exciting. Because you
Yeah.
keep saying yes. It's
Yes.
hard work. I ain't scared, but
Absolutely.
I keep saying yes.
Absolutely.
I
Yep.
love it.
And I feel like, you know this about me. In this process over the last 5 years, really through the chamber and especially with She Women in Business, um, I do not sugarcoat. I don't pretend to be something that I'm not. I have done it with such honesty, and I did not always do that. I faked my life for a very long time, and I think that that's what's so, refreshing is when you get to this place that you go, "I just don't have it in me anymore.
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest with everyone about everything." And, it has just allowed me to push through in this completely different way than I would have expected. And it's, I think, also kind of, disengages or not disengage, disarms people, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can work
We
with
get to
her.
be
We
real
can do
here.
this.
Yeah.
We can" yeah. So, yeah, it's been a really cool
It's very
thing.
exhausting when we're wearing different hats and we're trying to cling to a mask that we think is supposed to be worn in a certain situation. It takes a lot of energy
Yeah.
and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
for you to say like, bruh, I'm done clinging to the mask. I'm setting it down. I'm being who I am, authentic, same here, same there. And then you've got all that energy back
yeah.
that you can focus on like what's next.
Yeah. Yeah. It just the not pretending is unbelievably freeing for everything else in life, for everything else in life, you know? So, yeah, I'm just really loving what I'm doing, and, um, yeah, just
And you set the tone, right? Just like you said earlier, when you set the tone with honesty, authenticity, people understand, all right, this is what I'm working with. I know that she's a straight shooter and I can take her at her in face value. The words that she says she's going to deliver on. And so that sets the tone for the rest of us to show up and be like, all right, I might be a little nervous about saying how I feel in this moment, but I'm going to share it was a rough night. I didn't get into good sleep. The kid, whatever it is. And to be like, I'm not 100% today, just to own whatever that looks like for us,
yep.
to practice showing up who I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
love it.
and just the you see like, almost a deep sigh in people when they get permission to also just be real. And I mean, you watch it, you actually see it happen, and it's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay. We're not we're not here trying to impress each other.
Right.
That's not what."
Or one up each
Yeah,
other.
like, no,
No.
that's not what we're here to do. And so, yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
Well, game on, sister. You're changing the face of Elgin with your storefront. You're adding value with your who you are and how you show up, and you're just raising the caliber of conversations, of business opportunities. And I mean, that's what we're called to do, right? I'm here on this earth. How can I make the world a better place?
Yeah. Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what are the books that have shaped you?
I am so excited to talk about my
Tell me.
2 books.
I'm excited to hear.
Okay, so the first one, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This book, it wasn't I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I mean, obsessed. And I remember, I have a sister that's 15 years younger than me. I remember when she was young, buying the whole series for her again because I want, then doing it for my son. I'm like, you don't understand. Because it really, what changed me, why it shaped me is, one, this series is what taught me to love to read. So that was a big thing, because everything I'd read before, it's because I had to, right? And but what this did for me even more was, it's when I learned that I'm creative. I could visually see Narnia in my head, and I imagined what all the characters looked like in the forest, and I remember thinking like, "Oh, I created this in my mind," right? And anyone who knows me, I'm a big creator. I am a visionary. I love, love, love to create spaces and events and things. And I mostly live out of my creative mind. I write. I Everything I do is creative and has a story behind it. And this is where I learned that I had that. And so, yeah, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, really, really, really big book to me, and just love it. Love it.
I'm like envisioning like little seeds that were in your, seeds of creativity that were just dormant, dry soil. They hadn't been suppressed. A little bit of water, a little spring, a little nourishing, and
Yeah.
this whole new
Yes.
world opens up, and it's like your world went from black and white to color,
Right.
Technicolor.
Yes, yes. That's how it felt. I mean, I remember being a kid and feeling that for the first time. And also, like I was telling my dad on the way here, I was like, I just realized I've never done a Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe event. And like,
Oh,
I the cool
it's
things
coming
that I
up.
could
I can
do.
feel
So
I
yes,
can feel it.
this is gonna happen now, and I'm super excited. So
Well, I will so be there for that because
yeah.
I am also a C.S. Lewis fan in general. So, yes, please sign me up. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It'll be so cool.
I
We're
love
gonna
that.
we're gonna create Narnia.
I would like to pause before you bring your second book,
Okay.
because you are my eighth discussion with lovely people willing to share their heart, their time, their experiences, and most of them have kind of been a leadership experience, which is awesome. I love leadership. You love leadership, but you just kind of went in a very fun space with that
Oh,
moment sharing for me because in our childhood, we have access to imagination. See, I think that what happened for you was powerful, magical, in a formative time in your life.
mhm.
Because maybe if that book didn't come into your life in that moment, I mean, who knows what would have happened? But just the beauty of that age and the access to imagination and how it impacted your trajectory.
Yeah.
So I just needed to say, I
Ah,
love that.
ah,
Thank you for sharing.
yes. Yeah. I'm like, I had a feeling that this wasn't exactly the kind of book that
Oh,
most people were
game on,
going with,
sister. All books
but
are welcome. But I love it. I
yeah.
love it. Well, it answers
And
the
it
question. It shaped you.
literally, and it does have a big thing to do with my professional life now
Indeed.
because I do so much creative stuff.
I love it. You were invited to imagination and you said yes from the early days.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Yep. So the second book, I'm gonna show it here, but this is most certainly not all of it. And this is not a published book. This is a book I wrote. And it's not published because my God, publishing is expensive.
Oy.
So unless someone wants to pick this up, I don't know if it will just sit in my heart, if it will
Yeah.
actually do something one day with it. But um, this is a book that I wrote about the passing of my mom and my grandma. And the thing was that so they both got sick with cancer at the same time. And I was a caretaker for both of them. And so I would go from one hospital to the next, right? And um, it it was only 45 days. And it was the longest 45 days in the history of the world. And then they died 1 week apart. And so that was a really, really hard time for me. Um, but my grandma died January 25th, and my mom died February 1st. And on February 1st, right after she died, I didn't go home. I didn't go be with my family. I went and checked into a hotel and I just started writing out a timeline, writing out these little things that I wanted to remember and it was the weirdest. I don't know why I did this, but I just had these little scraps of paper and I like this date, this little thing, and this date, this little thing. And then I put it all in order and I tucked it away for 8 years. And one day I pulled it out and I was like, it's time. I wasn't ready to deal with the emotion at that point. And so I pulled it out and I wrote a book. And it literally follows the 45 days. And it's heartbreaking, but it's also so funny because my mom had 20 something brain tumors and you just never knew what that woman was going to say, and we learned to take the humor in it,
Yeah.
and that was so important for us. It
Yeah.
was so important for us to find the humor in things. And so it's heartbreaking, but it's also funny, and there's all these like little things that I learned, not in the moment, afterwards, that I think if someone else, if they're dealing with cancer or they're dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, because those are very similar with the brain tumors, that could be helpful. Like how I got my mom to eat. She wouldn't eat at all. And because she wanted this cancer diet that didn't exist, that there was no doubt she was going to die. But in her mind, if she ate this cancer diet, then she'd be okay, right? And so I just had to like go home and Google foods that are good for cancer. And I typed it out for her because she wanted to read everything. And so I typed it out and I labeled each food that I made and said how it was going to help with her cancer and da 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 da. And then she ate for the first time in weeks because I did what I worked with her mind instead of, right? And so it's all kinds of stories of just crazy things that happened and heartbreaking things and learning lessons and whatever. And this book was, try not to get emotional here. It was written for my mom, and it had to get out of my head and onto paper. And I love to write. I love to share stories, but I had to get it out on paper. And once I did, I was okay. Like, I would love to get it published. Oh, I would love to get it published, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
It feels
complete
because I did this thing that most people say they want to do and never actually do it, right? I did it, and I told her story, and I told it in a way that I think she would love and appreciate in my story, right? And so, yeah, and it's called Hey Doll, because she always called me Doll. So, yeah, that's my second book that shaped me.
I thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of grueling, a process that you had to.
Everything 8 years later, you're pulling it all right back to the surface.
It kind of got shoved in the box, grew a little dust on it. You had to bring it back.
Yeah.
You had to unpack it. You had to sit with it.
Yep.
You had to put words on it, stream sentences, thoughts, cohesive flow.
Yeah.
And now you've got it to hold in your hands.
Yeah. I sent it to 4 people to read. And my dad was one.
Okay.
My ex-husband, because I knew, and we're great friends. So it's fine that I'm saying this. I don't want anyone to think we get along very well. But he knows I talk about this. He was terrible. He was just terrible in that situation. And I don't think he was trying to be terrible. I think he just did not know what to do with me or what to do with it. Right. And, so he didn't like talk me through it he just really left me alone. And so he had no idea what I was actually going through in that process. And I think his response, like everyone sent very positive, like, oh my God, heartbreaking, but funny and this and that, whatever. But his response was something I didn't even know I needed, because he finally said, I didn't do well. And I'm so sorry that we were married and you had to handle that on your own. And so it like kind of closed 2 things for me, because I held some resentment to that, right? And yeah, so it was, his response was really important to me, and I appreciated it. I don't even know if I've told him this, but I appreciated it in a way that I didn't know. But so it was so much emotion brought back up. And it was really hard to get through. And it was like one of those things that I sat probably 3/4 finish for a really long time. But I had to, like, when you write, you have to be it, you can't just write. You have to be there and with it. And so I went and got a hotel again and stayed for a week and just locked myself by myself in that hotel so that I would finally finish it. And when I did, it was like, okay, I can breathe. I did the thing.
You did the thing.
Yeah.
You told the story.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've shared 2 examples where men called something out in your life. The first general manager, and now your ex-husband.
Mhm.
And I just think it's beautiful how life unfolds because we're not doing life alone.
Right.
And as much as we want to be advocates for other women, we're in this human family together, and men need women and women need men, and we need each other. And I think that's beautiful that he was able to step forward in that moment, which maybe it wasn't the easiest thing for him to say, but it was the right thing. And it ushered you into a place of freedom.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful.
Yeah. That Angie, so I think you just said something else that's important that I really think can be misunderstood. Sometimes when we're talking about empowering women and I own She Women in Business and I'm a women's motivational speaker or whatever, right? People want to think that that means you hate men or you're against men or you're right. And it's like, oh my God, no.
Right.
Actually, it's been nothing but men my entire adult life who were my mentors, who stood up for me, who like whatever. Um, and it's really that I want to be what men have done for me, I want to do for other women because women have not done that. We haven't done that. We have missed the beat on actually pulling each other up. And I do see a huge change. I mean, we have most certainly made big strides in how we work with each other and how we collaborate and how we, you know, stop judging each other so hard. I've seen some great strides and I love it, but nowhere is it in men are so important and so needed. And I've been single for 5 years, so people think that you add that on top and they're like, "Oh, you just hate men." I'm like, "No, not even close. Not even close." I think that being able to work together is so huge. I think it's just understanding that we have different needs as women and trying to tap in with that and grow and empower from there.
Right.
But
yeah. Thank you.
Completely appreciating men in my life.
100%. And I really think that you're right, that because I similarly have been an advocate for helping, women, I've got the tech background and I'm all about, hey man, there's like a 1-to-5 ratio of women to men. And I want to kind of advocate for women to kind of close that gap and all these things. But at the same time, it's not because I'm trying to do a disservice to men in any way. It's just that the men have had an upper hand in a lot of ways in business and tech, wherever, and to just help close that gap, just to kind of encourage us, because we as women have a tendency to just sit down or be quiet or be pleasing, and it's challenging for us to break out of our space. So again, men and women, different skill sets, different values that we bring to a relationship, to a business, and when we're functioning at our fullest, then we're unstoppable.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. This is exciting, and I hope that the book that you've written, Hey Doll, does get out into the world, because it sounds like something that will be a blessing for so many people. And here we are, just being open to opportunity and what may come.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What else do you have going on in your life that you might want to share with us?
Yeah, so I'd love to talk a little bit about, I want to talk about this in 2 different ways. So let's talk about it in a leadership business way for other people to think about and learn, but also what I'm currently doing that's so exciting. I think a lot of us business owners, small business owners, we feel unnerved right now, right? Economy does not feel safe. We just don't know what's happening, and people are watching their money. I mean, you can't do anything without it costing $100 now.
Mhm.
I mean, like what used to be 20 is now $100,
Mhm.
and we're all feeling it. And so, I own She Women in Business. I do business coaching. I do classes. I do mentor luncheons, stuff like that. But the coaching side has been tough because it's not cheap. I'm honest, it's
Mhm.
not cheap. Um, but people are scared to spend the money right now.
Yeah.
And so, while I very much believe in my ability to help women and help coach them through life, I also have to be real. And I knew that I needed to make some adjustments to my business in order to be sustainable. And so, I have this great space downtown Elgin, like just beautiful. It's 2,800 square feet. So it's a nice large space. And I moved She to the back end. And I still have my office and I have space for coaching and all that good stuff. But the front area, I have I'm in the middle, almost there, 1 week away from, having it's a boutique event space,
Okay.
and it is, and I don't know if I'm making that name up, but that's what it makes me think of because it's so curated to
Yay.
this way that nobody would expect. It is gorgeous. I mean, it is gorgeous. There's nothing like it in Elgin, um, in Bastrop, or I don't think like, I just don't think anywhere in these small towns is there something like this. Um, I will host my own events there still. I will do my leadership classes and my things that I have going on, but it's also gonna be available to rent to
Mhm.
the public.
All right.
Seat 70 people, uh, and it is beautiful. It is reasonably priced also
Uh-huh.
because,
Yeah.
that's a thing. People need to celebrate. Um, and I'm just trying to remember as I'm adding this to my kind of business plan. Um, we are like in this world of AI,
Mm.
right? In this world of screens constantly. And memories, no one's taking that job from us,
Mhm.
right? Like we have no idea what's going to be here, what jobs are going to be still sitting around.
Mhm.
I think the entire world is sitting here going, "What's about to happen?"
Yeah.
Um, but memories, connection,
Yeah.
eh, those things are not going to go away.
No.
And so I try to just kinda look at all of that and make this space where if I'm not there connecting y'all in a class or in an event, then come connect yourselves. Come make a memory yourself. Come enjoy this space. And so it's gonna be the building is called the Business Social.
Okay.
Um, I wanted it to be very, um, neutral
Mhm.
for, anyone who wants to rent it. It's literally in the name, whether you need it for a business class or you need it for a social event.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still under the She umbrella.
Mhm.
So it's just the building name. If someone rents it, if you're a man and you're renting it, you're paying She Women in Business, right? But the space itself is called the Business Social, and I'm just
So available for anything, wedding, cocktail parties, businesses, book
anything.
clubs,
Yep.
whatever your little heart can desire.
Yes.
Game on.
And it is, I mean,
Do
gorgeous.
do we have snacks?
Uh,
We
you
bring
bring
snacks?
snacks,
It's
yeah.
it's available for us to cater
Yes.
should we
Yep.
desire.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I think that, what I love about it is there's so many spaces that if you rent it, then you also have to spend so much money trying to make the space
Yeah,
look good,
yeah.
and you do
Mm-mm.
not have to
You
do that
step in,
here.
it's
You
ready to
step
thrive.
in and it
Alright,
is ready.
alright.
You're having a baby shower or something, great. Add some pink balloons somewhere, do your like whatever,
Yeah.
but you do not need to spend a lot of money to make this space because it is just gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I mean, that's exactly what we just talked about, or I kind of recapped who you are and what you're doing. To just kind of, when the waves rise, all boats go up. And that's exactly what you're doing. You are raising the temperature, the cultivated energy and effort of the entire space. So, you know what? Pinkies up. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And right on Main Street, like who
Yeah.
wouldn't want to have
Right.
an event right downtown? I mean, I was telling someone the other day, I said, whoever is smart enough to book this space on the first Saturday of December for a Christmas party, I said, how cool is it that your whole company can just walk outdoors and watch the lighted Christmas parade
Wow.
and then walk right back inside and enjoy your party? I'm like, that is just so cool.
Win-win.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
That's
And
gonna be
so,
awesome.
yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be very well received. And I'm just like, I love that it's I love that it's gonna be a space that people can continue to make connections and memories and um, network and just
I know. Well, because you
people
talk
to people
people to
things,
the
you
human
know?
connection.
Yes.
I mean, like you already articulated, right? The AI, the screens, everything, but carving out time and space, growing our memories, growing our relationships in a deeper way. I mean, I just don't even think there's anything more important. That is what it's all about. We
Yeah.
are on this earth to connect, to grow, to give, to love, and you are creating the time and space.
Yep. Yep.
Game on.
And we're gonna do so I do wanna tell you this real quick. So I want my events that I do, there's gonna be lots of business stuff during the day, but one night a month, I'm gonna do like a really just different type of event for the community. And I wanna do things like pitch a friend singles night, which is like the your friend pitches you to the crowd instead of you having to talk yourself. And I've seen them in Austin and it looks like
Oh.
so much fun. I want to do a hot take night where
Ooh.
people get 3 minutes to just go up there
Yeah.
and ramble about their hot take, right? And PowerPoint night. I don't know if you've seen
I
those,
have
but
not.
it's like literally you get 6 minutes a piece. You come with your PowerPoint and you might be talking to me about cats. You might be talking like just random and people just have so much fun with
I
it.
love
But
it.
it is meant almost like a human experience, right?
Yeah.
Not go sit at the bar again, not
Yeah.
um
Right.
in the coffee shop, like just something
Yeah.
so different. And I know everyone does, they do the trivia or whatever. I want to do things that are not being done
There we go.
in this
There we
small
go.
space. So super excited for
Wild card.
those. Yeah.
Wild card night, baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's just tapping back into that creativity. Like, where can we go that hasn't been gone before?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. So if inquiring minds would like to connect with you, what is the best way for folks to reach out to you?
So if you wanna follow my hot mess life, I'm a Facebook girl. That's where I put everything. It's Veronica Seaver. That is where I'm like the most active of what I have going on, where you can find me speaking, what events I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. LinkedIn, I definitely try to keep up with my LinkedIn or my website, sheisallthethings.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
She is all the things. I love it. Well, Veronica, this has been such an amazing conversation. I love that you brought us from childhood imagination. You brought us through one of the most difficult times in your life, and you did it with grace and beauty. And then you brought us to a place of empowerment, and you're taking us into the future for connection. So thank you.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so glad to have spent some time with you, hearing about what's on your heart and what's on your vision. And I look forward to supporting you at The Business Social.
Yes.
Game on, sister.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us for another conversation where we just get to learn about leaders, their journeys, whether it's personal, professional, but really the mix of all of it together. And look forward to talking with you again soon. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in for another conversation. These conversations are aimed at empowering, educating, and just enlifting each of us up in our journey on life. I am always open to connecting with you as a potential guest or as a sponsorship opportunity. And there's ways to connect with me on my website, Angie Smith, summitconsulting.com. You can book some time with me. We can chat, we can explore, and maybe we can go on the next leg of our journey together, which might even involve some life coaching. I'm here to connect, I'm here to grow, and I'm here for you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I look forward to chatting and visiting again soon. Thank you.